Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're getting straight into something I know a lot of you are curious about. When does muscle growth actually happen after you exercise?
Yeah, it's a great question. Whether you're, really pushing for athletic goals or just general fitness, understanding this is key.
And we've seen your sources, especially the insights from Physio focus right on this connection between working out and muscle building.
Exactly. Those provide a really good base for what we're discussing.
So our mission here is to kind of pull out the core info from those sources. We want to get clear on the timing, the main factors involved in muscle growth post-exercise.
Right. Give you actionable stuff without, drowning in complicated science.
Let's jump in. Where does it all start?
Well, the absolute foundation, as Physio points out, is resistance training. Basically, any exercise that makes your muscles work against some kind of force or weight.
Okay, so lifting weights, body weight exercises, that sort of thing.
Precisely.
And that's the initial signal for growth, like what's happening inside the muscle at that point.
Yeah, exactly. When you really challenge those muscles, you actually cause tiny microscopic tears in the muscle fibers.
Sounds kind of bad, but it's not.
No, it's actually a good stress. It's controlled damage, you could say.
Yeah.
It signals to your body, okay, we need to adapt.
Right, adapt. So these little tears, how does that turn into growth?
Well, the body kicks off a repair process. But here's the cool part. It doesn't just patch things up to how they were. It, overcompensates.
Overcompensates?
Yeah, it rebuilds the fibers stronger and thicker than before to handle that stress better next time. And that adaptation, that's muscle growth. That's hypertrophy.
Hypertrophy, right. So the body's basically prepping for the next challenge. Now, what's going on at the cellular level? You mentioned reinforcement.
Fundamentally, it involves building more muscle protein. Think of your muscles as being made of protein strands.
Okay.
To make them bigger and stronger, you literally need to synthesize or create more protein within those muscle cells. That's muscle protein synthesis, or MPS.
MPS. Got it. We hear that term tossed around, so that's the engine driving the growth.
Absolutely. It's the biological process where your body uses amino acids, primarily from the protein you eat, to repair that exercise-induced damage and build new muscle tissue. Without enough MPS, the repair doesn't really lead to growth.
And just showing up isn't enough, is it? The Physio stuff really stresses the intensity part.
Oh yeah, that's critical. You need to actually challenge your muscles, push them, beyond their comfort zone, beyond what they normally handle.
So progressive overload kind of idea.
Exactly. That provides the strong signal needed to really ramp up that repair and rebuilding. But of course, you also got to give your body the chance to recover. It's a balance.
Stress and then recovery. Makes sense. And worth mentioning, this kind of training isn't just about muscle size.
Not at all. Good point. Resistance training is huge for overall health too. It boosts your metabolism, helps keep your bones strong, improves insulin sensitivity, makes everyday tasks easier. Lots of benefits.
Okay, so resistance training throws the switch. But what provides the actual building materials? That must be where nutrition comes in.
Bingo. Yeah, think of nutrition as the fuel and the bricks for this whole rebuilding project. The Physio sources really emphasize that MPS absolutely depends on getting enough essential amino acids.
Essential amino acids, the ones our bodies can't make, right? We have to eat them.
Correct. And one in particular, leucine, gets highlighted quite a bit.
Leucine. Why is that one so important?
Leucine basically acts like a key signaling molecule. It tells the muscle cells, hey, time to build. It really kicks MPS into gear.
Interesting. But it's not all about protein, is it? Carbs play a role too.
Definitely. Carbohydrates are your body's main energy source. After a tough workout, your muscle glycogen, that's the stored form of carbs in your muscles, is depleted.
Like running the fuel tank low.
Exactly. So eating carbs helps refill that tank. Replenishing glycogen is super important for recovery and just having energy for your next workout.
Okay, now this is where it gets really practical for people, nutrient timing. The idea of when you eat these things.
Yes. The sources suggest that being strategic about when you consume protein and carbs, especially around your workout window, can give you an edge. It seems to boost muscle growth and recovery more effectively than just looking at your total daily intake alone.
So why is that period right after exercise so special? What's happening?
Well, right after a hard resistance session, your muscles are basically extra receptive to nutrients. They're damaged, glycogen is low, and certain transporters are more active. The muscle is primed for uptake.
Primed for uptake. So getting those nutrients in quickly means
you're delivering the building blocks, the amino acids from protein, and the energy from carbs right when the muscle is most ready to use them. It helps kickstart MPS faster, refuel glycogen quicker, and that supports better recovery and ultimately more growth over time.
Okay, and PhysioHub gives some actual numbers, right? What do they recommend post-workout?
Yeah, they suggest aiming for about 0.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight pretty soon after training. So for a lot of people, that's going to be around maybe 40 grams of protein.
40 grams, okay. And daily protein?
Daily, they recommend a range of 1.2 to 2.0 grams per kilogram of body weight. And importantly, spreading that out across your meals throughout the day.
Right, not just cramming it all in at once. And what about that tip about protein before bed?
Ah, yes. They mentioned the potential benefit of having about 20 to 40 grams of a slow digesting protein, like casein, maybe 30 minutes before you go to sleep.
Casein, okay. Why slow digesting?
Because it releases amino acids gradually overnight. So it provides a steady stream to your muscles while you're sleeping, potentially enhancing that muscle repair and synthesis process during the night.
Which is a perfect segue, because sleep itself is a huge piece of this puzzle, right? Often overlooked.
Hugely important. You can train hard, eat perfectly, but if your sleep is lacking, you're really undermining your progress. Most of the actual repair and regeneration happens while you sleep.
And it's not just clocking hours, is it? Quality matters.
Absolutely. Sleep isn't uniform. You cycle through different stages. It's primarily during the deep, non-REM stages of sleep that your body does most of its physical repair work, including muscle tissue. REM sleep is more for the brain, cognitive stuff.
So non-REM is the muscle fixer. What's the target duration then for optimizing this recovery?
The general consensus, echoed in the sources, is aiming for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. That seems to be the sweet spot for most adults to allow for adequate recovery and growth.
And if you consistently miss that mark, what happens to muscle building if you're sleep deprived?
Well, it really hampers recovery.
Yeah.
Your muscles just don't repair as effectively. Plus, lack of sleep messes with hormones involved in growth and stress, like growth hormone and cortisol.
Not good.
Not good at all. You could also tank your energy levels for training, affect your focus, maybe even increase your injury risk. Chronic poor sleep really throws a wrench in the works.
So it really connects everything. That hard training stimulus, the nutrition providing the parts, they can only do so much if the body doesn't get that downtime during sleep to actually build.
Exactly. And that pre-bed casein idea we mentioned, it works because sleep is when the body is focused on repair. You're providing the materials during the prime construction window.
Right. Okay, so we've covered the trigger resistance training, the fuel, nutrition, timing, protein, carbs, and the crucial recovery window sleep. It's really clear it's not just one thing.
That's the main takeaway, I think. Muscle growth is synergistic. It's the combination of stressing the muscle appropriately, fueling it correctly, and then allowing it adequate quality rest to rebuild stronger. They all have to work together.
Training creates the demand, nutrition provides the supply, and sleep is when the building happens.
Perfectly put.
So wrapping up this deep dive, drawing from PhysioHub, what are those absolute core pillars people need to remember about when and how muscle growth occurs?
Okay, 3 key things. 1, resistance training is the non-negotiable stimulus. You got to challenge the muscles. 2, nutrition provides the resources. That means enough total protein, think 1.2 to 2.0 grams per kilo daily. With strategic timing, like that post-workout window, maybe 0.5 grams per kilo, and potentially that pre-sleep casein. And don't forget, carbs for energy.
Got it. And the third?
Third, sleep is essential for the actual repair and growth. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep consistently. That's when the magic happens.
So a final thought for everyone listening. Take a moment to think about how you're balancing these 3 pillars right now. Your training, your nutrition, especially the timing and protein, and your sleep habits. Based on what we talked about, is there maybe one small tweak you could make to help optimize how your body recovers and grows?
Yeah, that's a great reflection point. It's often those small, consistent adjustments that make the biggest difference over time.
Definitely something to consider. Thanks for diving deep with us today.